Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services, including family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary and family law. At BWF, our solicitors are pleased to offer high-quality legal representation at competitive rates. Our senior partner, Bernardo Wusu, has over 29 years' experience as a lawyer in the UK. BWF Solicitors provide independent and practical legal assistance for all kinds of family matters, such as childcare, contested and uncontested divorce, and injunctions for domestic violence. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you in this difficult time, which is why we offer confidential advice delivered in a sensitive manner. Our senior partner is an accredited member of the Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel, which guarantees expert representation in all family and matrimonial cases. Are you seeking advice on immigration-related matters? At BWF Solicitors, our immigration team are experts in dealing with everything from general immigration to complex immigration work permits, arranging student visas, as well as entry clearance visas, family visas, and appeals. Our senior partner is an accredited member of the Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel, which guarantees expert representation. Our office is open from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays by appointment only from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are located at 4th floor Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London, N15 4NP, just a short walk from Seven Sisters Underground. Our senior partner, Bernardo Wusu, is also a qualified barrister and a member of the Ghana Bar Association. He has acted as an expert in court cases involving aspects of Ghanaian law. He has also advised local authorities, the official solicitor's office, and other solicitors on the intricacies of Ghanaian law, and is a regular contributor on the radio and TV on matters concerning Ghanaian law. Victon Estates provides professional and reliable service to landlords, investors, and tenants. Our mission is to ethically and honestly serve our clients. We won't make promises we cannot keep, rather. We present a clear picture of the reality we can offer. We are here to help you with long and short-term let, property management, cash buyers for quick sales, stop repossession, and mortgage arrears. For all your property needs, look no further. Visit us at www.victonestates.co.uk or call us on 07448619711. Victon Estates, your property is our pride.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to Heritage TV. Hanging out with Vicky, and it's a legal hour with BWF Solicitors. I hope you are all doing great. Thank you. And I also want to treat all of you to try and share this live program to all your friends, colleagues, and other people will be, this program will be of benefit too. This program is sponsored by Victon Estates Limited, Eagles Heights International School, and BWF Solicitors. I am your host, Vicky Newton. If you want to join in the discussion, please do send us all your comments and contributions to all our social media handles, especially YouTube and Facebook pages at Heritage TV or BWF Solicitors Facebook page. If you prefer to call me live on this program, the number to call is 0744 8619 711. The number again is 0744 8619 711. Today's topic is about the Windrush scheme. And you all agree with me that this Windrush scandal first came, on the media in 2018, and there was a lot of discussion on this scandal. Today, my regular guest, who is a partner at BWF Solicitors and also a solicitor at BWF, in the person of Mrs. Eunice Achampo. Hello, Eunice, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Vicky. Hope you are doing well.
Yes, I am doing well. And you?
By God's grace, we're all doing well.
Great. Laura Eunice, as we always do, if you could please give us some updates.
Okay.
Then we will put away, go with the topic for today.
Okay, so as we usually do every Saturday or every week, giving us a bit of updates in terms of what is going on in regards to our UK immigration system. And so a lot of us would realize that after the UK left the EU on the 1st of January 2020, some things began to change. And of course, there were people that would now have to, should I say, apply for transit visas, for instance, if they were not a national of the UK, or should I say, a foreign national, and wanted to travel from, let's say, here to their country of origin, but will have to do a stop at a different country, such as the Netherlands or in Portugal or whatever it is. Of course, there were these transit rules and regulations before the UK left the EU, but it became more apparent when the UK left the EU. And so, for instance, those that would take KLM airlines would have to apply for a transit visa, for instance, if they were going to transit from the UK to the Netherlands. And it is applicable in the UK as well. And so, of course, if you are, let's say, a third country national or a foreign national, and you are traveling from whichever country you are traveling from into the UK, you would have to check if you need to apply for a transit visa. So obviously there are countries where this would not be applicable to, countries such as Canada and the USA. And so obviously you will need to look on the .gov.uk website to see if your country is one of those listed as a country that needs a transit visa to be able to transit the UK or obviously come into the UK. And so, of course, if you are one of those countries and you will have to travel from wherever you're coming from into the UK before you get to your destination, then of course you will need to check to see if you would have to purchase or apply for a transit visa before coming through the UK. You also have EU nationals who would be traveling into the UK, and the UK government have said that if you are coming from any of the EU countries and you are traveling with your passport, it's fine. You can still use the e-gates as you usually do, but you cannot travel with your national identity card after the 1st of October. And so you should be able to travel with your passport and not your national identity card by the 1st of October this year. And of course, um, as we all know, EU nationals cannot come and reside in the UK as they previously did. And so if they want to come and visit, of course, that's fine. They have a period of 6 months, which they can come and stay in the UK, and then they have to return to their country of origin. And so if they want to come to the UK, and of course, they are thinking of visiting for a period of 6 months, as long as they have that valid period within their passport, they can come and reside for that period and then return back to their country. and this applies to their family members. And so if their family members are not EU nationals and they want to come and reside in the UK or come and visit the UK, they would also have to apply for their visas to be able to come to the UK. And it's important to also note that, of course, they have put it clearly on their website. So they updated it again yesterday to say that, of course, all those who are EU nationals or who have applied to the EU settlement scheme, and those that obviously have valid visas for different reasons, can still come into the UK with their valid biometric cards and their valid visas. So, of course, if you are somebody who has applied to the EU settlement scheme and you have a biometric card or you have a valid visa which is recognized in the UK, you can travel on those. And if you are a non-EU national or a family member of an EU national, and you do have a valid um, biometric card which has residence card or EEA family permit, you can also travel with that into the UK. And so it was a bit of a good news that they could mention that if you have a valid EEA family permit, you could also travel with that to come into the UK, because we've currently got this hoo-ha about whether people can still travel with EA family permits as from 30th June 2021. And so, having made mention of this in their own guidance, we are hoping that they would be able to issue all those who have been granted by the courts or have had their appeals allowed by the courts valid EA family permits so that they too can travel into the UK. So, yes, this is good news all around, and hopefully, those who would also want to travel should look on the Dog of the UK websites to see if they need to apply for a visa before they come into the UK.
Thank you so much, Laura Eunice. Laura Eunice, wow. Well, when I saw today's topic, it took my mind back 2018 when all over the media there was this scandal with the Windrush. So I just want to find out from you, which I always do when we come on every Saturday, what inspired you to talk about this?
You know, when we did our topic on the right of abode, and so somebody like messaged me and said, "Oh, they want to know if they can apply for the right of abode because their parents were here a while back, and of course their parents left the UK and they just wanted to know whether they'll be eligible." So I was thinking, do you know what? Let me just do a bit of research into the Windrush scheme as well, because she wanted to find out if her parents who left the UK would also be eligible under the scheme. And so, in a way, that's what led me to do this. And of course, whenever you have inquiries like this, it makes you want to give out the right information so that, of course, whoever needs that help or the support, you can give them the support as readily available as you can. So that's what led me to do this.
Okay. But Laura Eunice, you know what? With this Windrush scandal,
Yes.
the first country that comes into your mind is Jamaica.
Of course, yes.
So people were thinking, is it only related to just Jamaican nationals?
No, it's not. It's I think the reason why people think it's focused on Jamaica is because, of course, the Windrush name comes from the first ship that brought those from Jamaica and other West Indian islands to the UK. And so the name is depicted from that ship that brought them here, but it does not necessarily mean that it's only for Jamaicans or those from the West Indies or the other should I say West Indian islands, just because they were the ones that were on the Windrush ship. So no, it's not just for Jamaicans.
The reason why I had to mention this or say this is, when I did put up the topic for today on all our social media handles,
Yes.
I had people contact me to say, oh, I don't think this program is for me because it's focused on only Jamaicans. And I'm Ghanaian, I'm Nigerian, I'm Asian.
Yeah.
So this topic is not for me. But I was like, you know what? You still stay tuned.
Yes.
And Eunice is going to clarify whether it applies to you. So I asked those people who had that kind of notion that they should give us about 10 minutes in the introduction for them to make a decision whether they want to stay on and listen to the rest of the program. So far as you've now clarified it, so ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, doesn't only apply to Jamaicans. So please stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. It's not only focused on Jamaicans. Yeah, so Eunice, you can't stop laughing.
Because of course that is the information that people have been communicated to. So of course they would think that it is just for Jamaicans, but it's really not just for Jamaicans, but also our Commonwealth citizens as well. Yeah.
So Eunice, that takes me to the next question. What is this scheme all about?
Okay, so as you said, in 2018, so just briefly, like you said, in 2018, when we had our new elections, and then of course we had our Home Secretary at the time say that this had affected a lot of should I say generations that had come within the last, should I say 60 years, 60 to 70 years, because of course they started to look for a workforce after the Second World War. And so in the 1950s, there was a lot of announcements for people to come and work in the UK just to recoup what had been lost in the Second World War. And so as the name depicts, it was the Windrush ship that came from the West Indian islands to the UK that brought so many people to come and work and to obviously boost the UK economy. But not only that, you had people coming from the Commonwealth countries as well to come and work in the UK. So there was no sort of leave to enter or leave to remain at the time that was granted by any law within the UK. And so, of course, a lot of these people came to work because of the fact that there was that notion that they needed people to come and work in the UK to obviously boost the economy. And so a lot of people came, had their children, had families whilst in the UK. Some people also came and returned to their country of origin. And those that stayed, unfortunately, did not have any right in terms of any leave to remain. They could not extend their leave. They didn't have settlement. And so it was like they were in a limbo land. And therefore, some of them were even deported because they didn't have any leave or they didn't have any sort of immigration status within the UK. And that obviously came to the realization of the media, which forced the hand of the Home Secretary at the time to do something about it. And so, of course, they decided to have a fund or a scheme to obviously compensate those that were heavily affected by not having any legal status in the UK. And in this country, if you don't have legal status, you can't really work because your employers will be looking for some form of immigration status to identify that you can work. You cannot really rent a place if you can't show your immigration status. University is also an issue because you have to be able to show your immigration status to be able to go on and have your legal funding or student finance give you funding for university. It affects things like having to open an account because nowadays the banks also ask for these identifications. It affects things like having a driving license. So it affects a lot of things regarding your life when you don't have immigration status. And the compensation scheme was to compensate for all of these wrongs so that at least these people would then have some form of redress in terms of the fact that they were not allowed to, for instance, work or go to university or basically rent a place. Some of them were homeless or are homeless. And so all of these things obviously had a negative impact or a negative effect. And therefore, the scheme is to compensate for all those losses. Um, of course, there's those that are from the Commonwealth countries, as I mentioned, and they are looking as well to see those people that came into the UK before 1st January 1973, and obviously those that were settled at the time. If you are from the Commonwealth countries such as Guyana, you have African countries like Malawi, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone. There are so many countries within the Commonwealth. And so I can't mention all the countries, but when you look at the countries that are within the Commonwealth, you would realize that a lot of them also came during that time as well. And so from the end of the World War, which was around 1949, towards 1972, by that time, of course, many people would have lived and worked here. And there were a lot of laws at the time in terms of having resided here in the UK for at least a period of 5 years. And if you were able to show that you have lived and worked in the UK, you could have applied for settled status after that period of 5 years. Um, Not many people were aware, and so people decided to basically work and earn enough to go back to their countries when they thought things were not working out or when they thought they had done enough. And there were those that stayed, and for those that stayed, they had children, they had grandchildren, and so obviously their children and grandchildren would have been affected by their decision not to apply for any sort of immigration status. And of course, like we said in our right of abode session or program, those that were given a right of abode meant that there was no restriction to their leave or their residence here in the UK. And that was introduced by our Immigration Act of 1971. So not until the Immigration Act of 1971 came into force, there wasn't any sort of immigration status for people that had come from the Commonwealth or had come from the West Indian Islands. And it was something that people just thought, well, I've come to work, and as long as I've reached the port and I was allowed to come in and work, then that is it. And of course, it has affected a lot of generations after them. And the Windrush scheme is to basically grant them some form of immigration status, either settlement or a right of abode or British citizenship if they do qualify. Because, as I said, the Immigration Act of 1971 gave people who basically were residing in the UK and had some form of settled status the right of abode. So it means that they didn't have any sort of restrictions to their immigration status here in the UK. And obviously, we all know that British citizens automatically have a right of abode in the UK. So, yes, the Windrush scheme was a way of compensating our people from the West Indian Islands or from the Commonwealth countries who came into the UK and would have had some form of settlement before 1973 January, some form of redress. And then, of course, you have those that are children of those Commonwealth citizens or those that are grandchildren of those Commonwealth citizens also benefiting from the scheme as well.
Okay. All right. Laura Eunice, what requirements does a person claiming from overseas need when applying under this scheme?
So today I specifically looked at those applying from overseas or from outside of the UK because of the fact that this person put out this question. And so, of course, if you have somebody who said they came into the UK before 1st of January 1973, and of course, they came to reside here, they worked here, they didn't have any immigration status whatsoever. They were free to come and go because they were a Commonwealth citizen, and after some time decided to return to their country of origin. Would they have a stake in this Windrush scheme that has been made available by the government? And so it is specifically looking at those that came here before the 1st of January 1973. And of course, if you can show that you were a Commonwealth citizen and that you obviously have some proof of evidence to show that you would have gained settled status before the 1st of January 1973, or you did have settled status and you've lost it because of the fact that you returned to your country of origin, or you probably applied for a right of abode, and usually it will be an entitlement certificate which says that you have the right of abode. So it will be like a certificate on its own, not in the passport. And so, usually, if you were able to show that you were somebody who had resided here and you were entitled to settled status, because, as I said, if you could have shown that you had resided here and worked here for a period of at least 5 years, during that time, you could have applied for settled status. But because, of course, a lot of people didn't know that, they did what they did and returned to their country of origin. And so it was one of those things where they didn't really try and keep much evidence in the first place. For those that were able to have their families here or have children here, at least they were able to keep things like their birth certificates and child developmental books and things to do with their children, basically, because their children went to school and the rest of it. So they'll have something of the sort in regards to their children. And then, of course, if you were traveling, you will have previous passports that you traveled on with stamps in there and the rest of it. And so, for somebody who, for instance, was thinking, would I be able to apply to this scheme? It will be looking at the fact that you are a Commonwealth citizen who came into the UK before the 1st of January 1973, and that you did have some form of settled status here in the UK, or that you had a right of abode, or that you were a child of a person who is a Commonwealth citizen who came into the UK before the 1st of January 1973, or that you were the grandchild. And then in the case where, for instance, the Commonwealth citizen was deceased and you are the main benefactor of that person's estates or the person's inheritance, then you, of course, may be able to benefit from that as well. And so there are people who, for instance, had their parents take them back home, but because they were born here before 1941, and the British Nationality Act at the time said that, of course, if they were born in the country, they were automatically British. And so if they were
Yes.
automatically British, then of course they could apply for a right of abode or apply for a passport to return to the UK. And of course, you have people in that category as well who would say that, well, my parents took me back to whichever country they were from, but I think I am eligible to apply under the scheme because I am automatically British. And therefore, people like that will also be able to apply to the scheme. And so it's a wide range of people who can apply to the Windrush scheme, and it's not just Jamaicans, as you said.
Thank you so much for the clarification, because I must admit, I'm also one of those people who straight away thought it's only
For Jamaicans.
focused on Jamaica.
Yes.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you've just joined us, this is Heritage TV, the Legal Hour Show with BWF Solicitors, and today we are talking about the Windrush scheme. If you want to contribute or send in your questions, please do on all our social media handles at Heritage TV and BWF Solicitors. If you prefer to call us live on this program, the number is 0744 8619 711. The number again is 0744 8619 711. This program is sponsored by BWF Solicitors, Eagle Heights International School, and Victon Estates Limited. I am your host, Vicky Newton, and my guest is lawyer Eunice Achampong, who is a partner at BWF Solicitors. Right, lawyer Eunice, I've got some questions coming in. The first question comes from Sadia. She says, my mom and dad came here in the 1960s and had my two older sisters here before they left for Gambia in the late 1970s. My sisters and I live in the UK now, and my parents sometimes come on visits. Can they make an application under the Windrush scheme?
So, yes, if they are able to meet the eligibility criteria, and if, of course, they are not eligible, then of course they would refuse the application. And this application doesn't come with a fee. So, as I said, it's a scheme that the government have made available to people that were wrongly affected by the immigration rules at the time. And so this is a free application, and if you were refused, for instance, the only form of redress you would have will be administrative review. So you could only write back or apply for administrative review to say that I really do think I'm eligible, and you need to prove by showing more evidence that you are eligible to apply to the scheme, and they would obviously assess. But somebody like that, of course, she said her parents came here in the 1950s. And so if the parents were here in the 1950s, I'm sure in order to survive, they would have worked wherever they worked at, and of course, had some form of accommodation to be able to accommodate themselves and the children. And so, of course, if their parents can show that they are Commonwealth citizen, and she says they're from Gambia, and Gambia is one of the Commonwealth countries. And so, of course, if they are able to show that the parents are Commonwealth citizens by way of their passport or identification, then of course they can show that they were here before the 1st of January 1973. And if you look closely at what evidence they have. So they should be able to show that, for instance, they came here with whether it was by plane or by ship, whichever means they came by, I am sure that they will have some form of passport or identification that they came with when they were coming. If not, of course, you have things like them working, and usually you will have badges, or you would have had to register with HMRC because you were working and therefore had to pay some form of tax whilst working here in the UK. So some form of evidence from the HMRC. And at the time, a lot of people went out looking for work. And of course, if you were employed, your employer would definitely have you register with HMRC. And so things like that will help. If you were accommodated somewhere which was private, then of course you would have to have some form of a tenancy agreement or something of that sort with the landowner or the property owner. And so things like that will also help. And so, of course, when you're looking at somebody who says they came here at the time, you want to be able to assess whether they would have had settled status at the time that they were here before, obviously, they left the UK. And you should be able to assess from their evidence whether they would have been able to attain or obtain settled status at the time. And of course, if they are saying that they have all of those evidences, then you can use that to basically show that there will be people who would have been eligible to apply to the scheme. And so, first of all, they've shown that they are Commonwealth citizens. They resided here before 1973, that they would have also had settled status before they left the UK. And then, of course, if they are saying that they had children here, you have things like birth certificates and letters from the school and the rest of it, which would also show their residence here in the UK. And you would have to also show this. And so if they are saying that they have all of these items available, they can then go ahead to make the application, which is a free application on the .gov.uk website. So it's quite simple in terms of making the application online, but then you will need the evidence to show that this is what you are claiming. And so, of course, it is not just filling it in, but it's also proving to them that you qualify under this Windrush scheme.
Okay. All right. Right. Hi, Joyce. Also, accent. I think we've touched on it already, but she's asking, what sort of documents do they need for such an application? And is it an online or paper application?
Okay, so like I was saying, you would definitely need evidence to show that you were here before the 1st of January 1973. And if you were able to show that at the time that you were living or residing here in the UK, you would have been able to obtain settled status. And so, therefore, you had lived here for more than a period of 5 years before the 1st of January 1973. And you obviously were somebody who was a Commonwealth citizen, you should be able to show some form of identification. There may be stamps in the passport. They could also show some form of letter or record from HMRC. If they were lodging at a place, they would have had some form of tenancy agreement. They could show that as well. They could also show evidence of their children's birth certificates and records of the school knowing them as parents and school letters that were addressed to them. So things that they may have kept over that period or over that time would definitely help. In terms of making the application, it is like a PDF online application on the .gov.uk website. If you're outside of the UK, you can complete that, and then they have an email, a specified email for all those making the Windrush applications, and it's the Windrush compensation scheme at homeoffice.gov.uk. And so once you've completed the application, you can email the application with the supporting documents to that email. They also have a dedicated telephone number to support people who are outside of the UK if they need that support. And so if you are need you need help in terms of what documents to even add to the application, they have an 0800 number that people can call. Of course, outside of the UK, you may be charged because I know that within the UK, 0800 number is free, but outside of the UK, I'm not so sure it's free. So you may need to pay for that phone call. But they do have all of those available services to help and support those that are even outside of the UK, because they have had a lot of applications also from outside the UK since 2018. And they have, I think they said they've applied and granted to 200 and about 30 something people since that time. So that's those outside of the UK. And of course, you have people who are within the UK who have also been eligible. And there's thousands of people that they've compensated since 2018. And I think the fund keeps going up and up. And so they are trying as much as possible to redress all the wrongs they have done. And so, of course, if you're eligible to apply to the scheme, you can definitely apply. And as I said, it's an online application which you can complete and then email to them. And then, of course, they would inform you of their decision. Usually, the period they allowed is about 12 weeks. So once you've applied, they will make a decision as soon as possible and let you know whether you've been granted leave under the scheme. And if they think you're eligible, they will definitely grant you leave to enter the UK. And then, of course, if it's indefinite leave to enter, they will grant you indefinite leave to enter the UK.
No. All right, brilliant. Right, before I go to my next question, just quickly give a few shout outs to those watching us live. If I'm not able to mention your name, please forgive me, because there are so many of you on both platforms, Heritage TV and BWF Solicitors. I would like to say hi to Robert Asare of J4R Construction Limited. Thank you so much for tuning in. And to Nana Ajiman, Helena Akiyumi, Augustine Achiampo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Very much appreciated. And to all those whom I wasn't able to mention your name because of time, thank you. And please share to all your loved ones and colleagues and people you think this program will be of benefit to. As I said, you can send in your questions or contribute to this program on our Facebook, YouTube page at Heritage TV and BWF Solicitors Facebook page, and we'll be able to pick those questions and Lawyer Eunice will do justice to the question. If you prefer to call me live on the studio, number is 0744861971. Lawyer Eunice wrote to me saying, if I apply and I'm told I do not meet the requirements and my application is refused, what then do I do?
So, as I was saying, usually to be able to show that you're eligible, you should have some form of evidence. Um, like I said, some people would have applied because they are outside of the UK. They may not have all of those evidences to show that they actually resided here before um, the 1st of January 1973. And getting those evidences can be pretty difficult if you are not somebody who keeps records properly. And so sometimes it might be that because you don't have a record of those things, it makes things a lot difficult. So in situations like that, you had, I mean, the person who asked the first question say that her parents now live outside of the UK, but they tend to come here on visits. If that person, for instance, is somebody who can come on a visit to try and get some form of evidence to show that these are evidences that show that they were here at the time, then they can do so whilst on their visit to the UK, because it is all about showing whether you are eligible or not. And so, of course, if you are making this application and you are saying that they should take into consideration the fact that you had resided here and you pretty much thought that you had a settled status before you returned to your country of origin, then you should be able to evidence that. And if you are able to provide them with sufficient evidence to show that you are eligible under the route, even if you were refused, you can apply for an administrative review um, within 28 days of the decision being made. So, of course, if they said you didn't meet the eligibility requirements and you're saying that you do because you have more evidence to show that you indeed were a Commonwealth citizen who would have had settled status here in the UK before um, the 1st of January 1973, then you can go ahead and say to them, this is my proof that I was living here. I lived here for more than a period of 5 years before the 1st of January 1973. I am a Commonwealth citizen, and therefore I believe that I should be granted leave to enter or indefinite leave to enter the UK under the scheme. I probably had my children here. My children went to school here in the UK and the rest of it. And so, of course, if you have evidence to prove that this was the situation and therefore you should be granted, you can apply for administrative review 28 days from the day that the decision was made or was sent to you. And they can obviously review their decision with the new evidence that you have. And so, as much as possible, if you are able to prove that you are somebody who is eligible under the scheme, you can apply for administrative review for them to look at the decision once again. Um, it always helps that you gather everything even before you make the application, because some people get excited because it's free and it's something that they never even thought about or they never knew. And so, of course, if you think that you are eligible to apply under the Windrush scheme, then please do your homework. Look for the evidence, look for the documents that would prove that you were indeed here in the UK and you had resided here continuously until you left the UK. And it has to be before the 1st of January 1973 that you would have gained settled status here in the UK. So it's good to put all of those documentation together before you make the application, because they really want to, should I say, look very good, because they know they did some wrongs. And so if you are able to prove to them that you are eligible, why not? They would grant it to you. But if they refuse it, you can still request for an administrative review, and they will look at whatever fresh evidence you have.
Okay. All right. Lawyer Eunice, I've got two questions from one person. Hi, Temi. Thank you so much. I think he is one of our top fans. Yeah, Temi is saying, please, when is the Windrush closing? And how much is your fees? I think you did mention that there's no charges.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes. So the Windrush scheme doesn't have any application fee to it. It doesn't seem like the government is going to end it anytime soon, because there are still so many people who are eligible under the scheme, people that have been deported, people that have been, should I say, who have left the UK due to the fact that maybe they may not have received the right treatment, or they thought that their time here was over. And there are people whose grandchildren and children are still being affected by those decisions not to validate their entry or their residence here in the UK. So it is not looking like it's going to end anytime soon. And so, of course, it is still ongoing. They are still adding more funds to the scheme. So as of May, they added another 12 million pounds to the scheme. And so it's going to be open for a long while. And so, of course, they should make the applications if they do think that they are eligible to apply to the scheme. And so, like I said, if you're a child or a grandchild of a Commonwealth citizen that came to live in the UK before the 1st of January 1973 and can prove that they would have had settled status at the time, then of course you can make the application to the scheme. Yeah.
Okay. Temi is also saying, my dad came in September 1973. Can he apply?
So they are looking at those that were here before the 1st of January 1973. And so those Commonwealth citizens that came before 1973 January and could have proved that they would have had settled status at the time. And of course, we all know that before our British Nationality Act of 1981, most people who were born in the UK would have been British citizens. So I'm not sure if Temi was born in the UK or was born outside of the UK. And so, of course.
His dad.
Okay, so if it's his dad who came alone and he was not here at the time, then unfortunately his dad will not be able to qualify, because when they look at those that came before 1988, they are looking to see that those people had settled status. So if his dad did not have settled status before 1988, unfortunately he may not be able to qualify.
Okay. All right. I think Temi's question probably is the last one.
Okay.
Yep. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you still have any questions or queries, Eunice will leave her details at the end of the program. Please feel free to contact her on those phone numbers should be announcing shortly, and she and her team at BWF Solicitors will be able to advise and assist you. And Lawyer Eunice,
yes,
can you round everything up? And also for the benefit of those who are patiently waiting for your contact details.
Thank you, Vicky. So, of course, I've been talking about the Windrush scheme and those that may be eligible to apply to the Windrush scheme. It may not be your scenario. It may not be something that will affect you or have an impact on you in any way. Of course, we don't just deal with immigration issues at BWF Solicitors. And so if you are affected in some way in regards to any other matters, which includes family issues, having contact with your child, things to do with getting some redress in terms of monies that are owed to you, or even the fact that you have some social issues in regards to your accommodation or your property, of course, please, we deal with such matters, and please do not hesitate to contact us in regards to those issues as well. And so, as Vicky said, I am a solicitor and partner at BWF Solicitors, and we are in London. Our address is the 4th floor of Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London. And the postcode is N154NP. So N154NP. Our offices are open from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Our office telephone number is also 0208 493 7340. So it's 0208 493 7340. And my contact number outside of office hours is 075 35 81 3910. So it's 075 35 81 3910. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Eunice. We really appreciate your time coming our way every Saturday to educate us and give us some hope. That there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Definitely.
Sometimes we give up.
Yeah.
And they sometimes feel there's no other option. But today, 12 noon, every topic that we discuss has been beneficial to a lot of people, giving them so much hope. And that is what we aim to do. BWF Solicitors will also be having another Facebook live education program. That is the Community and the Law. It's on Facebook at 4 p.m. today. And I think what they are going to discuss is you don't have to be the biological parent of your child for there to exist a parental relationship. The topic is you don't have to be the biological parent of a child for there to exist a parental relationship. And who's going to go into this topic are also solicitors at BWF Solicitors in the person of lawyer Richard Wedun Nkrumah and Adjoa Echan Boateng. The post is Namanya 10. So if you are very interested in this topic, jump on Facebook, BWF Solicitors Facebook page at 4 p.m. and they'll be transmitting live there. I would like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to my sponsors again, BWF Solicitors, Go Heights International School, your very credible Good Mass Tuition Center at West Norwood. They will be reopening again next week, Saturday, 11th of September. So please, if you need your child to have the best in mathematics, call this number 0773 220 2319. The number is 0773 220 2319. And the team will be there to take any further questions and probably ask your child to have an assessment. Victon Estates Limited is also a property management company. Anything about your properties, please contact them 0744-861-9711. I would like to say a very big thank you to you, my viewers. Without you, we wouldn't be able to have a very engaging and interesting program every Saturday. It shouldn't always be a one-way program where we come on, just discuss the topic and just leave. But contributing with your questions and comments makes it more interesting, more lively, and we thank you for that. Keep it up. If you want to watch this program again, you can do so on our Facebook and YouTube page. Go on BWF Solicitors Facebook page. You will see a recording of today's program. And also on Heritage TV Facebook and YouTube page, you'll be able to get the recording of this program. And you can also share to your loved ones. Laura Eunice.
Hi.
I thought you were gone. So you've given your details. We thank you. I've already said thank you, but I can't thank you enough. So once again, thank you so much. And we hope to see you same time next week with another interesting topic.
Yes. Yes.
So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, with a wave from myself and my lovely guests, we say bye-bye and have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye. Take care.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services, including family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary and family law. At BWF, our solicitors are pleased to offer high-quality legal representation at competitive rates. Our senior partner, Bernardo Wusu, has over 29 years' experience as a lawyer in the UK. BWF Solicitors provide independent and practical legal assistance for all kinds of family matters, such as childcare, contested and uncontested divorce, and injunctions for domestic violence. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you in this difficult time, which is why we offer confidential advice delivered in a sensitive manner. Our senior partner is an accredited member of the Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel, which guarantees expert representation in all family and matrimonial cases. Are you seeking advice on immigration-related matters? At BWF Solicitors, our immigration team are experts in dealing with everything from general immigration to complex immigration work permits, arranging student visas, as well as entry clearance visas, family visas, and appeals. Our senior partner is an accredited member of the Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel, which guarantees expert representation. Our office is open from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays by appointment only from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are located at 4th floor Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London, N15 4NP, just a short walk from Seven Sisters Underground. Our senior partner, Bernardo Wusu, is also a qualified barrister and a member of the Ghana Bar Association. He has acted as an expert in court cases involving aspects of Ghanaian law. He has also advised local authorities, the official solicitor's office, and other solicitors on the intricacies of Ghanaian law, and is a regular contributor on the radio and TV on matters concerning Ghanaian law.
Victon Estates provides professional and reliable service to landlords, investors, and tenants. Our mission is to ethically and honestly serve our clients. We won't make promises we cannot keep, rather. We present a clear picture of the reality we can offer. We are here to help you with long and short-term let, property management, cash buyers for quick sales, stop repossession, and mortgage arrears. For all your property needs, look no further. Visit us at www.victonestates.co.uk or call us on 07448619711. Victon Estates, your property is our pride.